I made myself my first dirty chai of the season with the chai vanilla coffee syrup that we made together. If you missed that, it's linked below for you to check out. So, cheers. Oh, my lens. And of course, this recipe video is coming soon to a social media platform near you. Somewhere in between all the chaos. Maybe it's partially from all the upcoming Diwali festivities, as well as this past Thanksgiving long weekend and all the feasts that we've had. Even all the YouTube hauls of what to buy for the upcoming holidays. I've actually been finding beauty in the quiet. And what I mean by that is the small intentional moments in our day-to-day life that most often get overlooked, but somehow end up being just a little bit extraordinary in our, mundane day-to-day life. So as I was flipping through my diary, I think I'm ready now to share with you a particular week in the summer when my baby cousin sister visited me here in Toronto after 10 years. The last time we saw each other was at my sister's wedding. I'm looking at this particular week in my life from the perspective of when I'm an 80-year-old woman with fine lines and silver curly hair sitting in my rocking chair, looking back at my life in my 30s, thinking about all the times I was so anxious and was always worrying about every small detail. And I bet my 80-year-old self would smile and wished I had spent my prime years appreciating my life for what it is. The good, the messy, the boring days, the mundane routines, and even the moments I'm sure I probably won't even remember, but wished just for one moment to go back in time and relive this life. I look back at this Thursday, the day before my cousin was arriving, and remember wanting a simple way to brighten up my apartment. So, with $30 and a few empty jars, I picked up some grocery store flowers and turned them into tiny bouquets. It's funny, the older I get, the more I realize it's those small, quiet gestures that make life feel so full. The next thing on my checklist was putting together a snack basket filled with all the Canadian goodies I could find. Oh, did I forget to mention? She was flying all the way from California, so of course, I had to give her all the full Canadian welcome. I may have slipped some Pocky, not Canadian, I know, but as Gen Z would say back then, it's for the plot. Shall we speed things up a bit? My 80-year-old self will remember how happy I felt seeing my vision for that little guest bedroom finally come to life. Every corner felt just the way I had imagined, cozy, warm, and welcoming. And of course, since this was a girl pad, I had to stock up on all the bedside must-haves. Are you ready for the grand reveal? I'm gonna put you here. You're balancing on the couch. My 80-year-old self would remember how my body was my greatest insecurities back then. I'd remember how I've always been a late bloomer, and by the time I turned 30, I was stuck in this constant comparing loop with what I'd look like at 25. Petite. But this particular moment, something shifted. Maybe it was the act of vlogging. Watching myself move through the frame helped me start seeing myself differently. So I thought I'd do a 30-second makeup. I'm just gonna use the viewfinder. I began to notice the beauty in my curves, in the way I carried myself as a grown woman. But what I loved the most of my younger self, how this version of my 31-year-old self never hid behind heavy makeup. She kept it simple, eyes watered with black kajal, purple mascara, and Kulfi satin lipstick. She'd always wear makeup to enhance what was already there. I didn't realize it then, but that was the beginning of learning to see myself with softer eyes. Makeup done. Apartment is super clean. Her bedroom is so lovely with its little details that I've had in it so that she could have a cozy sleep tonight. And all that's left to do is go to the bakery and then pick her up from the airport, do a little afternoon snacky do, and then prep some dinner actually. I know the rain jacket is killing the vibe, but we need to be impractical in times like today. But I'm wearing my Bessies, I have my Coach bag, and this camera. I'm still in the baby phase of this, babying this camera, because it's very brand new. So this will be at home. But I will be filming with my cell phone camera. So without further ado, let's go. Essentially 3 Creamhorns, 1 Napoleon. There's so much decisions. I'm like, how do you pronounce this? Out of the 4, what's your favorite? Okay, let's do the lemon meringue. Bag is fine. Yeah. And we're back. So many delicious Italian desserts. I usually go to Loreal Bakery, which is in Pape Avenue, but this one is very close by. They even had Italian archinis. They had one with beef sausage and then another one stuffed with cheese. It's already like 1:44 as I'm looking at the clock, so I have less than an hour to get all this, have the table and coffee table, dining and coffee table ready for a little afternoon coffee, tea, and snack situation, and then pick her up from the airport. So, without further ado, cue the montage. success. Everything's all set. My little tea coffee station is all good. I can leave in about 10-ish minutes. Obviously put the pastries back in the fridge. I do not want it to melt by the time like it's out and it's like freshly baked. I'm so excited to dig into this. Made like a little welcome home sign. So I'm just gonna be standing at arrivals with that. All right, the baked goods are put in the fridge, and yeah, now off to the airport. At 80, I'd remember how much I was freaking out about whether there'd be enough food. I'd laugh thinking about how that's something I still haven't quite figured, since my fridge, even now, still stacked with leftovers in deli containers. I'd remember that in the kitchen I filmed all my silly food videos and vlogs. On this Friday evening, filled with the aroma of paneer and colorful bell peppers sizzling on the pan, potatoes and corn roasting in the oven, and of course, endless chatter between my cousin and me.
I know you're gonna say this. I just kept being like, okay, one more.
I'd also remember how cautious I used to be about filming in public, and how my cousin lovingly teased me about it over dinner. What I kept as a secret at 31, I tell the whole world now at 80.
You have to do it at some point. How are you gonna get content?
That was the night I quietly began being the creative entrepreneur I always dreamed of being. At 80, I probably wouldn't remember every detail from this jam-packed weekend. All the viral things we did around the city, the places we ate, and the photos we took. But I'd remember this, how much love 30-year-old Vidya poured into making it the best cousins weekend. From an hour-long Uber ride to St. Lawrence Market,
We're at the St. Lawrence.
to us trying the viral Craigle from St. Urbain, which apparently has the best Montreal bagels. If you don't know what a Craigle is, it's a delicious mashup of a croissant and a bagel.
Cheese Craigle.
First by itself. It's really flaky.
I feel like the outside is flaky.
And of course, we had to get two of their most popular cream cheeses, chive and jalapeno. Both of us won't forget this moment of dipping it into the cream cheese with our hands, since we both forgot to ask for a fork.
Oh shit.
Bicycle roll?
It's just nature on nature.
We're living in the outdoors. Second taste test was this interesting cake cookie situation that looked like a peach but tasted like those orange cream filled Indian biscuits, and it was filled with this delicious cherry jam filling.
I don't know why, but I was expecting it to be like a hard cookie. But it's like
It's a cake.
This reminds me of that orange Indian biscuit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking
Like
about?
the cream-filled orange biscuit.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're spot on. Feel a bit catfished. Because I was expecting a peach, and then I got an orange, and I'm like, what? And then this was not even a cookie to begin with.
So the fact that they like totally deceived you is knocking down the rating.
It majorly is.
Our final taste test was this viral trio sauce pasta.
Oh, that's good. You like the tricolor?
Yeah, it was really good.
We liked it. How did you feel about your first St. Lawrence Market?
I liked it. Not as nice as Granville.
Grandville, I know. Granville is like next to the water, and you have the mountains.
I liked the Craigle though.
We're gonna. Oh, you like the Craigle?
Yeah. That was
Except for our eating
that was
spot.
That was a bit messy.
It's so funny because like where we were, there were no shade, and then where there was shade, there were umbrellas there. And it's like, make it make sense. St. Lawrence Market.
We laughed our way through peak 12 noon summer heat, starting at Sugar Beach, her in a leather jacket and me melting away in the Toronto sun. mini detour into Farm Boy to taste test their new summer watermelon drink and to ask my cousin what an American with Trader Joe's thinks about our version. Even gave her the full Toronto experience of endless construction.
She is having way too much fun.
With the side of frantically waving down at our Uber driver on the corner of King and Bay, which is always a mission of its own. We ended the night at El Catrina, tired, full, and completely content. At 80, I'll probably forget half the things I ever bought, since the material stuff fades fast. But I don't think I'll forget this. My 31-year-old self sitting shotgun, my best friend behind the wheel, and my cousin third wheeling in the backseat. The three of us driving 30 minutes in peak Toronto traffic on a Sunday, all to pick up my sister's birthday cake. My 80-year-old self would probably smile a toothless grin, wrinkles and all, watching how much care went into every little detail. From the box of mini cakes to the animal macaroons I grabbed on a whim from my niece and nephew, to the big birthday cake box, and being so amazed at my 31-year-old self for jigsaw puzzling all these three massive boxes into her tiny condo fridge. And because we never do anything halfway, we decided to drive all the way to Brampton for the best Indian buffet at Tandoori Flame. Of course, we got there right when they were closing to reset for dinner. So there we were, the three of us, starving in the car, laughing through the hunger pains, counting down 30 minutes that felt like years. At 80, I know I'll miss this. The ability for our bodies to go hours without food, or the mental capacity to drive miles away just for the best Indian food. I'd say how lucky my 31-year-old self is to be surrounded by people who were young, wild, and free, not just in age, but also in heart. And when those buffet doors opened, it was worth every second. And somewhere between the freshly baked tandoori naan and the piping hot jalebi, someone asked if I was a content creator. And before I could even respond, my cousin proudly jumped in. Yes, she is. Are you subscribed to her on YouTube? I just laughed, but my heart was so full. I can picture my 80-year-old self smiling wholeheartedly, remembering this exact feeling. Wearing the same sweatshirt, but instead paired it with some mom jeans. The cakes are all packed from Dango Cake Lab, as well as a few extra goodies from a recent week that I thought I would take with me for my sister and brother-in-law to enjoy. Whoa, this is so zoomed in. How is your Kachori house experience?
Phenomenal.
Really?
Yeah, I liked it. I haven't had kachoris in a while.
My 80-year-old self would sigh with that bittersweet ache in my heart, seeing how both my Amma and Appa are still alive in these memories and wishing, oh, just for one moment that I could close my eyes and be right back there, soaking up their laughter, their voices, their company. I'd probably be recalling how big my 3 little rugrats, yes, including Potato, have gotten. I can almost see myself chuckling, making a mental note to shoot them a text message or DM or whatever social media exists by then, just to say your auntie's thinking of you.
What do you think about the lavender chocolate?
I don't love the idea of floral thing in this.
Really?
This is good, but it tastes like blueberry and chocolate.
Sip this in. Look like we're talking. We actually had a good lavender freaking
At 80, I may forget that this moment even existed, or that my cousin and I almost got stuck in my apartment elevator and nearly had to walk down 20 flights of stairs.
Thanks for hosting me. This was so nice.
But what I'll never forget is that sinking feeling in the pit of my stomach, the one that comes when you say goodbye to someone who's filled your heart and soul with so much love. At 31, you start to wonder when the next time will be, holding on to hope that this one beautiful week isn't the last. And if, by chance, we make it to 81, with fine lines and silver curls and all, may we live with gratitude and appreciation for what we have today, to hit the pause button and inhale only to slow down. When realization hits that this life passes by far too quickly. And even our mundane, ordinary life can be nothing short of extraordinary.
Listen, I'm like a genuine foodie, okay? I will not give you trash food. This is what you have to do with your chocolate chip muffin. That is so good.
So, these bookshelves behind me are actually all my diaries. By the way, all of this was organized in the upcoming Desi Girl vlogs, wink wink. But I've actually written in all of my diaries ever since I was 12 years old. And it was my only way that I could express myself. And it took me a very, very long time to get to this stage, now at 31, to finally share with you literally pages from my diary. I just want to say thank you so much for giving me your digital currency, especially on this episode of From My Diary. Hit the subscribe as well as the thumbs up, and always remember to keep smiling, beautiful soul. Bye.